I'm gonna tell you my story, which began with my pregnancy, which went okay. My baby was healthy, I was okay. But at the birth, things got very, very complicated. And it was the time when Corona started. And in our country, I come from Slovenia, there was a war zone in the hospitals. Like, it was panic and chaos, and you couldn't get to the doctors. If doctors wanted to come to you, they have to first put the whole scaphandre on. So while I was giving birth, I laid most of the time, more than 7 hours there by my own. And I couldn't call anyone because it hurt so much, I couldn't scream. And after 7 hours, well, my baby was stuck. A nurse said to the doctor, maybe we should check on the baby. They draw blood from my birth canal, from his head. And they saw it's critical, so they urged me to surgery. I had a cesarean. And after I woke up, everybody got their babies, but not me. I kept asking, and after a while, a doctor came and said, your baby is fine, he just needs a bit of oxygen. But I felt something wasn't right. And then, 2 days after, another doctor came to work and saw my baby. And she knew something wasn't right. And she made an ultrasound, and they saw that 2 big veins in striatum, the midbrain, which Dr. Joe talks about a lot, the basal ganglia were popped, and he got severe brain damage, like severe brain bleeding. And then they say, well, now we have to wait if this blood will flow through the spinal cord fluid out, or if it will be stuck, he has to get a drainage, kind of a pump in his ventricles. And we were waiting, and the ventricles grew, so that meant he got blockage. So he got the drainage, but the day he got operated, he already was in narcosis because they did an MRI and they couldn't put him in another narcosis. So he had to do it while he was awake. They draw a hole in his head. And while they did this, they managed also to infect him with skin bacteria. And then they say, well, we will see if he will survive this. But he did. And we stayed for months in the hospital, locked in a room, because this was Corona. You couldn't go even to the toilet without asking someone. It was really tough, and he suffered a lot. And then when we got out of the hospital, we started therapy for cerebral palsy, which he got. And I don't know if he got overworked or he got seizures, or how do you say, epilepsy, which is called infantile spasms. Some babies don't survive it, and usually they have long life, issues because of that. But we got through that. We were isolated for 7 months because he got corticosteroids, and he was so fragile he couldn't, if he got affected just by a little bacteria. So we were, again, isolated in one room. But he got through that. And then, thank you. But then while he was growing up, he was 2.5 or 3. His seizures of epilepsy gotten worse and worse and more often and more often. We went to the hospital with a helicopter, with ambulance all the time, like every second month. You never know when it's gonna strike. And we lived in fear because I didn't know Dr. Joe's work by then. And it was really tough, but the seizures became so strong and they couldn't stop them. They had to put him in narcosis all the time. Sometimes they give him 7 different anti-epileptic medicines or, pills, injections, and he got through. And then when I was not giving up, but I just couldn't anymore, I was the worst version of myself. I wanted to be there for him and I couldn't because life was just so tough. Then everywhere I looked, Dr. Joe popped up on my phone, on the television. In the bookstore I saw a book and I was like, what? So I thought, okay, I will get to this guy, but then soon I was like, no, it's impossible. But then I was like, show me. And a woman popped on my telephone and I saw that this is a neurochange solution trainer in Slovenia, the first one. Well, when I listened to Dr. Joe, I think I listened for weeks. I was like, yeah, okay, but I'm not meditating. This is not for me. I need extreme Zumba motorcycle and stuff like that. Meditation just makes me nervous. I can't think of nothing. This is impossible. And then when I listened to Dr. Joe, he always said, you will think this and you will, and when I had nothing, I used to say it back, and a strange thing happened. I got babysitting for 4 days, first time in my life. And I had 4 whole days. And I said, like Dr. Joe teaches, I'm not getting up until I feel at least one positive emotion or until I change something. Because I wanted to be there for my son. Those 4 days, I had many mystical experiences. I talked to Divine Love. And it changed everything. And soon after, I realized that my body is healed. I had some issues with my lungs, with my lady parts, and they were just gone. And I was like, what is going on? And then I thought, okay, I healed. I changed and I healed. I want to heal my baby too. And I was like, this is impossible. I changed my emotions and my thoughts. Why can't I heal him, And then one night when I was like, life is unfair. I want to please give him just a white light in my bedroom. And it wasn't a voice you hear, it was just the voice you hear inside. Said, you are connected, and whatever you do will help him. And that was my light, his light. And then one day, sorry. After a while, I saw that I didn't even realize he's already healing and changing. And I was driving on the highway, talking to a friend on the phone, and I said, "Oh, it's so warm in the car by now. I have to stop somewhere on the highway to put his hat off." And he put his hat off, and I was like, "You understand me?" And then I comprehended he's starting to understand things. And not only that, when he got those infantile spasms, he lost even his speech or abilities to develop speech. and it started to come back. He had nystagmus, when the eyes go like this, and he was cross-eyed. Well, he's not anymore. Also, we haven't been to a hospital for a whole year. He is happy, he's smiling, he's playing with other kids. And before, when I said that I went to the Neurochange Solutions training, when I got there, the trainer told me that there is coherence healing. And I was like, I had no money, I had no car, I had nothing left because I was divorcing and it was really tough also. And I was like, okay, I have an apartment, I will give you the apartment. And she said, no, it's for free. Thank you. And so I applied through Zoom. I think we've done 5 coherence healings. Sometimes it was like you really felt something is going on, or you saw that something is going on. Sometimes nothing, but changes kept coming. And long story short, today, Anu is walking. Anu is speaking short sentences. He says, Mom, sleep. Mom, eat. He's playing with other children. He's healthy and happy and walking and almost running, and it is only the beginning. So people believe and never lose hope, no matter how hard it is. Thank you.